So hello everyone, welcome to the another chapter which is autonomic nervous system. So basic thing we'll study first and then we'll move on to the chapter. First, our body has two systems which is parasympathetic and sympathetic. So let's study this with a diagram and I will explain you further. So parasympathetic and sympathetic. Okay. Next, this is your cranial, thoracolumbar and sacral point. Okay. From here, from parasympathetic, one preganglionic and postganglionic nerves are going. Okay. So one thing is common in all the nerves which are coming from the spinal cord. They are all have acetylcholine and NM receptor. Acetylcholine and NM receptors at all places where ganglions meet, pre and post. But after post, there are differences. So in parasympathetic, after post ganglion, it is acetylcholine. But in sympathetic system, after post ganglionic, there are noradrenaline, which goes to the heart. And there is one more they are giving branch, which is acetylcholine, which goes to the sweat glands in sympathetic system. But in parasympathetic, again you can see it's go again acetylcholine, NM, after post also acetylcholine and going to the other parts of the body. So let's study this with an tabular form so you will understand better. So preganglionic parasympathetic give ACH like acetylcholine. Again preganglionic sympathetic also give acetylcholine. Postganglionic parasympathetic give acetylcholine. But postganglionic sympathetic, what they are giving? They are giving noradrenaline and ACTH. So they can ask acetylcholine where they are going in sweat glands, and what postganglionic sympathetic giving one branch which is sweat glands and which have acetylcholine. So where parasympathetic and sympathetic system do in our body, like which action they give in our body. First, heart. In heart, parasympathetic decrease or depress it, but in sympathetic it induce it. In sympathetic it induce heart, and after that all opposite has actions are going on. Like in bronchus, bronchoconstriction is doing. In GIT, diarrhea is doing. In bladder, constriction. If bladder is contract, then outflow will increase. Outflow increase. Glands, secretion will increase. Pupil, meiosis. Meiosis means small, like getting small. You can see in your eyes the meiosis getting small. And mydriasis means bigger. Okay, means dilatation and contraction. So here contraction and here dilatation. But at one point they are both working together, which is sexual system, erection and ejaculation. So you can write for P for point and S for shoot. So like erection point and shoot means ejaculation. Okay, and sympathetic, what they are doing in heart? They are first induced, then bronchodilation, constipation, relaxation of bladder, secretion decrease, mydriasis means dilatation, and as I said, ejaculation. So these are the things you must remember that gonna help you further in the chapter. So let's start with parasympathetic system. In parasympathetic, the major neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. Okay, and its work on cholinergic receptors. So let's understand this with a diagram so you will understand better. First, in our body, choline will go to the receptor, it will enter the receptor. After choline will convert it to acetylcholine, and this acetylcholine will stimulate another neurotransmitter. Okay, so what we can do if we want to stop this system, like for example a patient came to you with a heart rate decrease, bronchoconstriction or diarrhea, contractions and secretion are increased. So what you will do? So what you need to do, you have to block this system. You need to block parasympathetic system. So first we will do here. If we stop cholinergic coming inside the neuron, so hemicholinergic. Hemi means half. So action will be done half. So you will depress cholinergic half point. So it will come less in the neuron and it will give less reaction. Second, you can stop this acetylcholine in the neuron by visamicol. Okay. Third, you can block between two neurotransmitter by botulinum toxin. And fourth one, you can do acetylcholine esterase by 5-stigmine. This 4 you must remember. Now we'll study cholinergic receptors. There are 2 types, nicotinic and muscarinic. And in nicotinic there are NM which are present in ganglion and NM neuromuscular junction. So one thing about NM is they need a stimulus which is optimal, like you can't give more or less, it must be in a proportion. If you give more, still they will don't work. If you give less, still they don't work. So they must be in a proper proportion. Muscarinic, M1 is present in stomach, M2 is present in heart, and M3 is present in all these parts. So how you can remember this? So remember this like खाओ पियो दिल लगाओ बाकी सब बाद में. So means stomach खाओ पियो दिल लगाओ और बाकी सब बाद में. As you can remember this. And you can see in stomach M1 is increasing HCl, in M2 heart decrease and conduction is decreased. In third you can see bronchoconstriction, perithalsis means movement increase in the stomach, contraction of bladder, secretion increase and meiosis. Same thing is done in parasympathetic here. So don't confuse because we are studying parasympathetic system. So all these things are same here. Okay. So acetylcholine esterase inhibitors. So they are in 2 types. First they are reversible and second is irreversible. So irreversible we study in poisoning mostly, and reversible we study in clinical practice. So in reversible also there are 2 types. First is lipid soluble and second is water soluble. In lipid soluble there is one example 5-stigmine, and in water soluble neostigmine. Okay. So what 5-stigmine? This is the brain blood barrier. Okay. So 5-stigmine can cross but neostigmine cannot cross, and in eyes it can do if give effect, but neostigmine give effect but not more effective, like less, they are giving less effect, and it is used in glaucoma. Okay. So 5-stigmine has a good it's cross blood brain barrier. That's why it can use in atropine poisoning, because atropine poisoning its effect 50% in brain and in other parts too. So you can use. So let's look at this point. Atropine poisoning, to treat atropine poisoning drug of choice is 5-stigmine. So it's work in brain plus outside like M1, M2 and M3. So what we need to do? We need to block this, and to give effect in the brain we need 5-stigmine because it is lipid soluble and it will cross blood brain barrier and it will treat atropine poisoning. Okay. So there is one more disease which we know as Alzheimer dementia or Alzheimer disease. So what happened in this disease? So this disease is related to memory. So you forget things very easily. And why this happened? Because in brain there is one part which is called as basal nerve of Meynert, which is controller of memory. So whenever Alzheimer disease happens, this acetylcholine will degenerate or degrade in your brain, so you will not able to remember things very well. So it will affect your memory indirectly. So there are some drugs which you can use. So the drugs you can remember as DRG, like Dr. G. So there is donepezil, rivastigmine and galectamine. So these drugs are drug of choice for Alzheimer disease. So as you can see, Dr. G can help you remember or can help you in increasing your memory. So remember these drugs. In this place you can give 5-stigmine also. It can also cross the blood brain barrier, but there is one problem. It will give side effects because it will also block this M1, M2 and M3. So to avoid these side effects, we just give these drugs which have good effects. Okay. So as we study now lipid soluble, which is 5-stigmine, now we study water soluble drug, which is neostigmine. So one thing about neostigmine, it is a drug of choice for myasthenia gravis. What is myasthenia gravis? It is a disease where your muscle weakness happens. Okay. And in cholinergic crisis also muscle weakness happens. So how you will differentiate between this? For example, a patient come to you, he has a problem of muscle weakness, but how you will know that this is problem myasthenia gravis or cholinergic crisis? So there is one test you can do. There is one drug which is known as androphonium. So this is short acting drug, that's why you will give directly intravenously, and you will watch that patient for 10 minutes. If after giving the drug, if the patient health improves, then it is myasthenia gravis. But after giving that dose, patient problems increase, then it is cholinergic crisis. Because in start I told you, NM receptor, nicotinic receptor, which is NM receptor, has a very proportional required thing. Like you can't give more or less, you need to give in a proper proportion. That's why it will give effect. If you will give more, still it will not work. If you will rest, still it will not work. That's why in myasthenia gravis it decrease, and in cholinergic it increase more than that. That's why weakness happen. So to treat, we use this test, and after this test we will get what disease we are dealing with. Okay, so treatment is for myasthenia gravis is neostigmine, which is water soluble drug. And in cobra bites, as common in that a patient came to you with a cobra bite, what will be the drug you will give that time? You will give neostigmine plus atropine added to it. Okay, this thing you must remember, because this question came in few exams, that if a patient came to you with a cobra bite, what will be the treatment? Okay, remember this. Next we will move to OP poisoning or irreversible acetyltransferase inhibitors. So it includes malathion and parathion. So these are the drugs mostly you will see with a farmer case will come to you, and it will say that farmer has increased hydrochloric acid, decreased heart rate, decreased BP, pinpoint pupil, and his body secretion are increased. Whenever you see pinpoint pupil and increased secretion, always diagnosis at a OP poisoning. So what is OP poisoning? In OP poisoning, this acetylcholine stays with block. What will happen if it is blocked? Then acetylcholine will increase, and it will do one thing. It will M1, M2 and M3. It will stimulate this. So these things will happen in the body. And drug of choice for this is atropine. Remember this. So what atropine will do? Atropine will block all these parts, because it's already stimulating this. So we need to make them block. That's why we will give atropine. So move on to the next part, which is cholinergic drugs. So first is organs, receptor, drug and uses. So in stomach we said there is M1 is present in stomach, in heart M2, and in other parts like khao, pio, dil lagao, as I told you. So M1 is in stomach, in heart there is M2, and other parts there are M3. So to block this, we have to block all this. And what medicine we will give, these are written here. These drugs and what are the uses where you will use. For example, pyranzapine and telanzapine you will use in peptic ulcer. As you studied the previous lecture also, I think in that I told about pyranzapine and telanzapine for peptic ulcer, induced peptic ulcer disease. Then atropine. Atropine I told you now, bradycardia and AV block. Bradycardia means heart rate decrease, and tachycardia means heart rate increase. So remember, atropine is a drug of choice. As you can see here also I written heart rate decrease. Then bronchus. In M3 what we do? Bronchoconstriction. As you can remember here, look what we do, bronchoconstriction. M3 do bronchoconstriction. So we need to stop. Some asthma patient has came and we have to stop this constriction. What you will give? You will give ipratropium and tiotropium. So bronchial asthma and COPD you will use this. Then M3 bladder. Like now it will increase. What it will do? Let's check again. What will it do? As I told you, it will increase contraction. Contraction means it will increase urine outflow. So what you need to do? So remember this medicine as a swab bladder. And for what it is given? For overreactive matter, like because the patient is having frequently urination. To stop that thing, you will give these medicines. And the last one is eye, which is present in M3. Like M3 is present in eye. So atropine, as you can remember, an ophthalmologist, whenever you go to check your lens number, that time they put some solution in your eyes. There usually atropine is given, because It is long acting and it is used in to check your refractive error. Look, fundoscopy, refraction testing, and iodocyclitis. And it is drug of choice in children's. Atropine ointment is drug of choice in children. So you must remember this because this is the most important thing will come in exam, I think. So you must remember which receptor you have to block and which medicine you will give. The last thing of today is anticholinergic poisoning. First we learn anticholinergic drugs. Now you will learn if you give in a high dose, then poisoning happen, like atropine poisoning will happen, what you will do. So there is always a history of a patient, like a child was playing outside and suddenly he saw some fruit and he ate, and after that he came with dry mouth, hyperthermia, agitation, tachycardia, urination, and urinary retention and accommodation loss, like blurring of vision and like this. So what is the drug of choice for atropine poisoning? I told you in the beginning also, it is phyostigmine. Always remember this. Phyostigmine is a drug of choice for datura poisoning, belladonna poisoning, atropine poisoning, or anticholinergic poisoning. So this was the topic for today. This is the first part of parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system will study tomorrow, and after that we will study gastrointestinal disease.